Donald Trump Jr. is at it again. He did yet another unhinged interview, and during the process of complaining about Hunter Biden, he essentially admitted that he lied under oath, but it was no big deal because it was just a technicality.
And they could use it against my father and his administration. That is not troubling to them. But because I had a conversation set up by the DNC with someone before we were even in politics, we went through 5 years of he committed treason and this and, hours and hours and hours of testimony, not because I did anything wrong, but because they're hoping that maybe I confuse something. Maybe I make a little error. The meeting was at, I believe, 12:02. Nope, it was 12:03. You lied and you perjure himself. Where's Adam Schiff? Where's the tinfoil hat brigade in Congress that led the charge on Russian collusion? Because if they really cared, you would think that Hunter's own admission, his own admission that the Russian mob may use the laptop.
And yet they go after good, hardworking people for not paying taxes on a company car. Company car. You didn't pay tax on the car or a company apartment. You used an apartment because you need an apartment because you have to travel too far where your house is. You didn't pay tax. Or education for your grandchildren.
And so what I showed you there was Donald Trump Jr. on a conservative news network, and I followed it up with a clip recently of Donald Trump. And I want to show you how the men in this family, at least, Trump Jr., I didn't show you a clip of Eric, but he's done the same thing, have this real urge to admit they are criminals on national and international television. This is crazy to me. What Trump Jr. is trying to say there is that, yeah, I probably lied under oath. I probably gave information to federal and to state officials that would technically have me lying, but really it's just a quibble over small little details. And Donald Trump did the same thing where he basically admitted that his CFO and his company are almost certainly evading taxes illegally, but they're doing so on small little things, so it's quote unquote no big deal. Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. have also made claims about that. And it shows again, one, why are they so focused on Hunter Biden? Donald Trump Jr. talks about Hunter Biden more than Joe Biden or anyone from the Biden family ever does. He is utterly obsessed with Hunter Biden, a guy that holds no formal operation within the Biden White House or the Biden government or the Biden political campaign. He's literally a nobody in politics, and Donald Trump Jr. cannot stop talking about him. But it also shows how dumb this family is. We already have multiple reports that when being questioned on things like the Trump Inauguration Committee, Donald Trump Jr. and Ivanka almost certainly lied under oath about their role in that inaugurative process and what they knew and didn't know about what was happening, which is important because it's been alleged by prosecutors that Trump and the Trump family and the Trump organization made money illegally off the inauguration by basically forcing the public to pay for rented Trump space, even though they were charging more than reasonable competitors. And Ivanka and Don Jr. say they know nothing about it, but the evidence shows otherwise in written documents and other testimony. And so Donald Trump Jr. is trying to play it off like, oh, I didn't really lie under oath, and if I did, it's actually just over little quibbles, when in reality, he's lying about his fundamental connection to the event. And so it's like these people need their lawyers to actually crack down on them. Trump and Trump Jr. and Eric need to take a page from Ivanka, which is to say, when you're in legal trouble, shut the hell up and stay out of the media and stop admitting that you did crimes and defending them by saying the crimes were no big deal. All I'll say is I hope they keep talking because they're scumbags and I want them to go down. But if I was their lawyer, I'd be unhappy.